You've mentioned kanina na fake news yung balita na nag-request si VP Sara ng private meeting with President Marcos. May ask for the siguro, opinion ng defense team kung ano po kaya ang motibo sa likod po nitong ulat na ito.
Well, sa defense naman, sa totoo lang, wala kaming opinion. Hindi na namin pinansin yung balita na yan. You know, in fact, I was very hesitant to even confirm it with the Vice President because knowing her, nung nabasa ko pa lang yung news, hindi na talaga ako naniwala dun sa news. But I had a chance to talk to the Vice President. So sinabi ko lang sa kanya na baka matanong ako dito sa issue na ito kung ano yung posisyon niya, anong gusto niyang sabihin. And she agreed with me dun sa naging suggestion ko na i-diretso ko na talagang fake news siya. At hindi siya nalalayo doon sa news, a few months ago na kesyo na bato daw ako ng laptop or kung ano man, or kung hindi man ako, kahit sino sa defense team. At hindi rin siya nalalayo doon sa statement that was attributed to me the other day na alam nyo naman, being here, na never ko sinabi. No?
Okay, next question po. Go back.
Sige.
Last online press conference, sinabi po ni Attorney Paulo Panelo na pwede po daw maging star witness ng defense team kung sakali po maimbitahan si Ramil Madriaga ng prosecution dito po sa impeachment trial.
Well, look, the truth of the matter is si Mr. Madriaga is listed as a witness prosecution ayon sa kanilang pre-trial brief. He's also listed as our witness sa aming pre-trial brief. But si Attorney Panelo is not part of the defense team. Although I appreciate what he's doing dun sa kaso na grave threats, no? Kasi dun talaga yung Madriaga, it's not grave threats, sorry, the perjury cases rather, dahil dun talaga yung kay Mr. Madriaga. Pero sa amin, we don't telegraph our moves, so tingnan na lang natin kung kinakailangan na i-present siya o hindi. Pero sa ngayon, hindi muna kami magbibitaw ng anumang statement kung sino yung mga witnesses na ilalabas natin.
Pero attorney, pwede nga ba siya maging star witness ng defense?
Well, that depends eh. And sa ngayon, we're focused on our strategy, no? At ayaw po talaga natin na nagbibigay ng kahit anong detalye sa gusto nating gawin nang sa ganon hindi na-telegraph ng kung sino man po. So, while I appreciate of course the comments at nakikita ko naman kung saan nanggagaling si Attorney Panelo, especially since he's in the heart of the perjury case, sa atin, hindi muna tayo magbibitaw ng kahit anong statement ukol dyan.
Attorney, going back doon sa private meeting ni VP and ni PBBM, talaga bang walang any attempt sa part ni VP na kausapin ng Pangulo?
None that I know of. None that I know of. No? Never namin napag-usapan, wala siyang nababanggit sa akin. At nung lumabas nga yung balita na yon, I asked her by confirming with her, can I just say this is fake news? And she said yes.
Pero what was her initial reaction when you mentioned her na may ganitong balitang
I think she already knew before I asked her. And similar to, alam niyo na yung laptop issue na nabato daw ako noon, nung una ayoko rin pansinin eh, 'di ba? Kasi katawa-tawa na siya eh, parang masyado ng petty para pansinin pa. But since nung medyo nagkaroon ng traction, I really had to address it. So perhaps I don't want to speculate, but siguro ganun din yung naramdaman niya kasi hindi na rin namin masyado pinag-usapan eh. Ang nasabi ko lang, baka matanong ako kasi hindi pa nagsususpende last week nung mga trial dates natin. So sabi ko, baka matanong ako ng media, gusto ko na rin sagutin na lang, at kung pwede, sagutin ko na lang na fake news. And she confirmed na walang ganung pangyayari or walang ganung plano.
Sir, pero ano tingin nyo ng motibo? Bakit pinaluluta nga yung possible, yung request ng meeting with the president?
Hindi natin alam eh. I don't want to speculate, but kasi yun nga eh, gusto ko lang sabihin, dapat mas maging mapagmatsyag tayo sa mga nababasa natin sa SOCMED, try to find out kung legitimate yung sources, diba? Kasi ang dami na talagang mga fake news na kumakalat. Kaya nga nung kamakailan, and I think, of course, Representative Redon for his patience and understanding, kasi nung lumabas din yung statement, nakikipagdebate daw ako sa kanya, na kaming dalawa, wala naman kaming both ends. Never naman kami nagdebate talaga ng ganun. So I found the need to issue doon sa ating group chat ng statement para lang maklaro yung bagay-bagay at hindi na lumaki pa yung ganyang fake news.
Attorney, any comment or sagot ng depensa doon sa sinasabi ng prosecution na mga smoking gun answers ang binitiwan ni Acosta today?
Well, that's their position. As you know, we're advocating for different points of view. So, while we may disagree, diba, yung appreciation naman yan, parati kong sinasabi, is really up to the impeachment court, the senator judges, kung ano yung naging appreciation nila. So, of course, the prosecution will say their piece and have their side. The defense will also have our side. But at the end of the day, it will really depend kung paano na-appreciate ng ating mga senator judges yung mga naging pahayag ni Ms. Acosta sa kanyang testimonya.
Sir, during the recross, it was brought up na Acosta met with one of your lawyers. May we know the nature of that meeting? Can you expound on that meeting?
I wasn't aware. I wasn't present in that meeting. According to Ms. Acosta, it was a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think that's what she said. And basically, what she mentioned was that she was just asking what to expect, no, during the proceedings. So, but I personally have no personal knowledge about what transpired and what was the exchange because I was not present in that meeting.
And hindi sanction ng defense team yung meeting na yun.
Well, ako hindi ko alam kung ano, no, but that's ang sa amin naman sa lawyers, it's more of we're very careful kasi with the witnesses kasi while Ms. Acosta is also listed as our pwede naming maging witness, 'di ba? Like last year pa lang kasama na siya sa iniisip namin ng mga witnesses dahil siya naman talaga yung SDO. We're very careful nowadays, especially pag under subpoena na, hindi na namin talaga kinakausap. Kung lumapit man ng itong mga witnesses, ang masasabi lang kasi namin is more on broad strokes, like maybe what to expect, ano yung paano ba yung procedure, sinong unang magtatanong, no? But as to the details kung paano sagutin yung tanong for ethical reasons, we're very careful about that.
Pero yung hearing kanina may mga lumabas na bagong pangalan at mayroon pa mga binabanggit si Atty. Ligutan na modus, scam, kasuklam-suklam. Sa publikong nakikinig, pwedeng isipin na talagang yung confidential fund ay nagkaroon ng corruption.
Oo.
Paano nyo ho'y paliliwanag ito? Doon sa iisipin na ito na yun. Ito na yung gusto nilang marinig from the prosecution.
Well, unang-una sa lahat, no, we objected to the use of those words kanina at nagpapasalamat naman tayo sa presiding officer na na stricken off the record, lalo na yung word na scam at yung modus. Sinabi naman ng ating presiding officer na maaari namang sabihing standard operating procedure dahil pag sinabi mong modus, may insinuation kasi yun no, na baka ma-mislead ang publiko. But nonetheless, we, of course, different styles for different lawyers. We appreciate that. Ang trabaho naman ng defense is mag-object sa ngayon pag may mga ganong mga salitang nabibitawan. Pero paano namin didepensahan yan? You'll have to wait for when we present our evidence in chief para makita ng taong bayan kung ano pa talaga yung nangyari sa pondong ito.
Pero sa publiko ba, na nakikinig ng impeachment, nanonood, ano gusto yung sabihin regarding that?
Sa ngayon, yun lang po talaga masasabi ko. As you know, sir, we strictly abide by the sub judice rule. So I don't want to litigate my case in public. Siguro sa publiko, sa ngayon kasi nakikita nyo pa lang is the side of the prosecution. So hintayin lang po siguro, maging patient lang tayo para naman hintayin natin yung turn naman ng defense, no, na kami naman ang maglabas ng aming evidence in chief o mga ebidensya.
Si Colonel Lachica ho ba ay gagamitin din ng defense para makasubalihin yung mga binanggit kanina?
Hindi pa namin po ito ibubunyag kung ano yung gagawin natin. I really beg for your indulgence and your understanding, but we really don't want to telegraph our witnesses.
Sir, pero nakikita niyo po ba na parang hesitant ang prosecution na ipatawag si Colonel Lachica? Considering maraming senators na nagtatanong bakit hindi pinapatawag si Colonel Lachica?
Well, I don't want to say hesitant and cast aspersions against the prosecution. Prerogatiba kasi nila talaga. I'm sure may game plan sila just as much as we have our own game plan. So, kung ano man yung reason sila behind that, nasa kanila yun. It's really within their prerogative Kasi, syempre, pag ikaw nagre-represent ng ebidensya mo, talagang titingnan mo kung ano yung arc ng parang narration ng storya yan di ba? bibigyan mo ng arc yan, titignan mo anong makakatulong sa'yo, anong hindi makakatulong sa'yo. So, I don't want to say hesitant at this point. I think they were very categorical in saying lang na they're not ready to disclose yet if and when lalabas, isasama nila sa listahan nila si Colonel La Chica. So, hintayin na lang po siguro natin instead of saying they're hesitant or not. I don't want to really conclude anything at this point.
How would you describe Acosta as a hostile witness sa prosecution?
Well, sa akin naman, it's nothing new to what we already heard during the House hearings, diba? Because I was personally there also during the House hearings. So, it's quite similar kung ano yung sinabi niya today. It's quite similar. So, on the part of the defense, it was anticipated kung ano yung mga sasabihin. No? So, wala naman akong nakitang lumihis or pagbabago dun sa nasabi niya almost 2 years ago, back in 2024.
Pero sir, naging satisfied kayo sa takbo ng cross-examination?
Sa amin, because we just wanted, as you can see, very short lang yung cross-examination natin. We just wanted to reiterate certain points, specifically kung ano yung nakasulat sa joint circular. So, yun lang naman yung goal talaga natin. And yun nga, wala naman tayong nakitang deviation doon sa naging testimonya ni Ms. Acosta before the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. So, yung naging cross natin very short lang din po.
Sir, on the last question during recross, why was it important to underscore that the House asked her to speak in Filipino and in English when she asked to speak in Bisaya?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that question, Ms. Katrina. Kasi, obviously, we had to just state for the record kasi the other day, I think may mga lumalabas rin na baka nagbibisaya para parang sort of evasive yung witness or just to evade or as a matter of strategy nagbibisaya. So we just had to also state for the record and just for the information of the public and the senator judges na nung House Committee hearings, yung good government and public accountability, simula pa naman nun, talagang gusto na magbisaya ng witness na si Ms. Acosta. Doon lang, talagang hinimok siya na mag-Tagalog at mag-English. Tulad na rin ng nangyari ngayon. Just to really inform the public that perhaps hindi naman yan strategy or evasiveness. It's really her nature na mas komportable siya sa Bisaya, since Bisaya talaga siya.
Balikan ko lang siya attorney. Kasi dun sa kanyang pagtestimonya bilang adverse witness sa prosecution, naging firm siya dun sa kanyang trabaho at pinandigan niya yung kanyang ginawa na halos mga senator ay sumuko na rin sa kanya dahil wala na silang makuha ng informasyon. Pero nung tanongin na siya sa personal na buhay din sa kanyang asawa, emotional siya.
Opo, because I heard also, not from her, but I heard that her husband, I think, is ill, no? So I don't know kung ano mismo yung sakit. So and even if I did, I shouldn't disclose it here. But yun lang, kaya siguro naging emotional talaga. No?
Pero mas nakinabang ba ang defense doon sa pagtestimonya niya sa prosecution?
Wala naman. Sa atin, katulad ng nasabi ko, yung naging testimonya niya is something we anticipated dahil kumbaga nasabi na niya yung mga bagay na yan noon, kumbaga naulit lang ngayon, no? And this time around, at least we had the chance to cross-examine and also emphasize din yung mga bagay-bagay na gusto namin emphasize kung ano talaga yung nakapaloob sa joint circular at anong hindi.
Pero si SPO Fajarda po, hindi makakarating because nagka-stroke siya. So, do you think may advantage to sa defense and may effect sa prosecution if you haharap si Fajarda?
Oo, well, hindi ko alam yung condition. I found out, to be very, very honest with everyone, I found out about his condition last week. No? I wanted to actually visit him din dahil nakatrabaho ko yan noon. I wanted to visit him in the hospital, but because nga, for ethical reasons, we have to be careful na kasi under subpoena na si Mr. Fajarda. So, I just decided not to even visit him. No, nangangamusta na lang ako through yung mga common friends namin or mga colleagues namin noon. Nangangamusta na lang ako. Ngayon, I really wish him well. I hope he's okay. But kung I think magte-testify rin naman sa September 7 yata yung na-reserve na date. So, lalabas rin naman yan. So, I don't think naman na it will affect. Maybe the effect is medyo na-delay lang ng konti. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you.